it going?
Doing good, Wes. How are you today?
Doing well, doing well.
Wonderful, wonderful, Wes. So how's the day so far?
Not bad. Just kind of doing some work, doing some vocal recording today, but that's about it.
Wonderful, wonderful, Wes. So with this Prescription Fiction, your new album, so can you tell me a bit about the songwriting and the production behind this new album?
Yeah, so I think, this song has, or this album has been, it's a collection of songs I've written over the past 7, 8, 9, 10 years. It's really hard for me to kind of think back how far the first one was written, but it's, I've had a lot of struggles with mental health, and I'm bipolar, and this is kind of a timeline, I think, of really my mental health over 10 years or near a decade or however long it was. The earlier songs I've written on there, like Take a Pill and Doesn't Matter, they're kind of all over the place, like thematically, because I would start writing and I was kind of manic or whatever, and then I would just, it was just like kind of I would just go off the rails. And so it wasn't really too focused, but I mean, I think it still came out okay. And then later, after I'd had a really bad manic episode, I was trying to get my life back together afterwards. I wrote some more songs, and that's when I met Lou Rubino, our producer the producer for Prescription Fiction. And I think some of the later songs are more kind of about what comes after, kind of, because I was depressed for a while after. I was also, there were times where I wasn't too hopeful, and there were times that I was hopeful, and like The Clearing is more hopeful song. And then, but also like Checked Out's kind of more, it was like when I was getting my medicine, it takes a while to kind of get your medication regimen optimized. And so I was kind of in between there, and I still hadn't really, gotten back to 100%. So I was just kind of playing video games, and I was checked out of the world because, I didn't really want to think about anything because, like I said, I was still kind of in between. And so that's kind of the songwriting aspect of it. So, there's that part. And then, from production, it was mostly me and Lou doing all the, he produced it, and he helped me write a few songs, and I wrote most of them. And, we had Albert and on drums for, I think, most of the tracks, and acoustic drums on most of the tracks. And Kevin played some lead lines in there. A lot of the stuff was played by Lou and I, though. And so he's got a really nice studio about an hour south. And so we just cranked it out over the course. It probably took us about, a year and a half, 2 years to record it, but we were releasing just kind of one song at a time. And so that's a very long explanation.
So that's good. So basically the album revolves around your life to be.
Yeah, it kind of does. It just, mental health, I mean, kind of what I went through, it was really, I bottomed out. I hit rock bottom, or as close to rock bottom as I care to. And, so I just used the music to kind of help myself kind of heal from it. And, I was kind of hoping that other people might listen to it and say, this guy's been through it too. So maybe I can get through it also.
So what's the message that you are delivering to the fans and to the listeners through this album?
I would say that, you're not alone. I know it's very difficult to ask for, I mean, I like, for instance, I knew that there was an issue. I'd had mental health issues over the years, and I'd taken medicine, and I'd never really gotten help. I had always just kind of done a half measure by going to, my family practitioner and then putting me on medicines. I never went to see a psychiatrist or a therapist or something like that. And I think, I would encourage people that if you don't feel good, you've got to really take full measures and not half measures, because things are only going to get worse. And, and I also want to let people know that it's okay. Like, you don't have, there is a stigma, but I mean, I think you've just kind of got to ignore that, because, it's your life you're talking about. And so I think, just get help if you need it.
Wonderful, wonderful, this. And do you currently have any touring schedule that has been put in front of you?
So I don't know if Tracy told, but we're actually I'm working on new music right now, and so this album was supposed to come out a while ago while we were working on some, starting to play some live shows and all that, and obviously the pandemic kind of
Yeah.
hurt that. So the songs we've got new music coming out starting the 25th of this month that I kind of started producing over the pandemic that was kind of separate from Prescription Fiction. And so I'm going to be busy with that for a little while longer because I want to release a song per month for the near future. And it's the reason why I'm doing it this way is because there's going to be kind of a concept about it. Sort of a concept album, and I've got something to go with it that I haven't really announced yet. I'm going to wait a little bit longer to announce it, but that's going to keep me kind of occupied for now. And so I think once we make the announcement and people hear about it, that they'll understand why we're not going to be playing out, for the time being, anytime soon. But when it's all said and done, I'd love to. But I think people will be kind of interested in what we're going to be doing. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. So since you said that you're working on new material, so
yeah,
how it's gonna be? Is it related to Prescription Fiction, or is it gonna be a new episode totally?
Yeah, new episode totally. So I think the mental health aspect is always going to be there, but this is going to be a little bit more allegorical. So I mentioned that I've done all the production for this song, and I actually mixed it too. And I'm going to be doing that for a little while longer because of, what we've got going on to go with it. But it's going to be, I wouldn't call it so much social commentary because I don't really want to get into politics or anything like that. I want to be inclusive and not divisive. So, but I do, the one thing that I do kind of am going to be talking about in this song is I think that corporations have really taken too big a role in our lives. And, and that would be okay if a lot of them didn't have, what I feel corrupt people running them. And so it's me kind of imagining, what that might be like in the future if we continue down that path. And so I think that's going to be sort of the concept. And I just wanted to try to make this, it's going to be heavier. It's going to be a lot heavier, both thematically and production wise. And I just kind of wanted to write and mix some stuff that was really gonna beat people up, make them, I don't know, have a good time, but also think,
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. And how did you come up with the name Pharmacose, and how did you guys join together as a band?
So Pharmacose is I put the two words together, pharmaceutical and comatose. I think I mentioned, and I came up with that name when we were writing and recording Checked Out, just because I kind of felt like I was, that and a couple other songs, like I mentioned, I hadn't got my medication regimen optimized. So I was just I felt like in the gray. I was just kind of existing. I wasn't really depressed, but I wasn't, normal either, I hadn't really normalized to a degree. And so, some medication side effects. So comatose was the thing I came up with. So I just put pharmaceutical and comatose together, and I got Pharmacose. We started, I've been here since about 2016, and all this happened in 2017, my mental health episode. And so when I was getting over that, a mutual friend suggested that I meet Lou and go record with him. And so I did. I went down to a studio in St. Augustine, which is, 30 minutes away from here. So, and we've been writing and producing and playing together ever since. So he knew Albert, our drummer, previously. And I met Kevin, shortly after that. And so we've kind of been playing together since. And like I said, it's kind of been difficult because the pandemic really threw everything off, not just for everybody, obviously nationwide, but Kevin and Albert kind of had some things happen, and so we were really kind of really put us on hiatus for a little while, unfortunately. But hopefully, getting all this music out will revitalize everything.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we all know music is a healer. Music has
It
done
is.
so much of miracles. So how music has touched you and how music has changed your life from the mental illness?
I think it's allowed me to kind of vent, and to kind of, a big thing for me was acceptance. And I think, for any kind of illness you have, or be it anything, you have to accept it, and then be able to move forward. And I think it was really, really helpful for me to when writing about it, to accept it, to process everything, and to heal from it. And I think it's just because you hate to open up old wounds, and you hate to do all that, but I think it's good to kind of explore. And a big thing is too, you got to forgive yourself for the things you've done. And so I think writing all that, and doing it that way has really helped me, and it has very much put me in a given me a hopeful outlook.
Wonderful. And so for prescription fiction, how has the support been for you in Jacksonville and around the world?
We were getting some listeners. We're getting more listeners. Obviously we've got a long way to go. I'm not in any under any illusion, but I think we've had some decent responses. We've probably, I don't know, maybe quadrupled the amount of people we have listening to our songs. So that's good. I'd like to continue to move in that direction. I think it's a good starting point for what we're going, for what direction we're heading.
Mhm.
And I think that there was really not going to be a good time for us to release it because it was so delayed. So I think it was just best to go ahead and get it out, and get people maybe excited to listen to it. And then really, I want to energize people moving forward to listen to our new stuff. So that was why we're kind of doing the release schedule like we are.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what would be the big dreams for you?
Obviously, I want to do this full time.
Okay.
Not able to do it full time right now, but I think, again, I'm not trying to be too mysterious, but the moving forward, kind of my plans, I think, I just want to get people listening and go from there. And I think it's possible. I think it's just effort, and persistence. And I think that these days, in order to kind of have any kind of success, you've really got to be persistent, and you've got to have new music coming out all the time, because everybody else has new music coming out all the time. And just, things have changed. The CD is, people don't release albums much anymore, or they do, but they might do it after having released, 6 or so songs off that album from monthly. And I think it's just everything's a work in progress, but I hope to get there at some point.
Wonderful, wonderful. And talking about the future of the band, so
Mhm.
how's the songwriting going to focus upon? Is it still going to continue with the mental health, or is it going to be getting into diverse topics in the future?
Yeah, I think kind of what I was talking about earlier about, you know, thinking about corporations, that's going to be kind of the focus on the next group of songs I'm going to release. And I think, it's almost kind of like Us versus the Machine. And I think that once people start to hear what I'm talking about, they might understand a little bit better. But I think, there will be some mental health things talked about, but it's going to be more allegorical.
Mhm.
I think, this is something that's kind of, I've been wanting to talk about for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And, I'm not going to say that we're never going to talk about mental health again. We certainly probably will, but for now, this is something that I kind of wanted to do. And so the next group of songs will kind of conceptually be based around that type of that thought. So
sounds good. Sounds good. And do you have plans to do a lot of experimentation in your music in the future? Or are you going to
yeah,
stick to the single genre?
yeah. So we're I've gotten more and more and more into synths and kind of how they and it's crazy how just one little part can change a song and like a counter melody or something from a synth and or a guitar or anything else. So I think adding that element to it and really putting some some non-typical sounds to go along with it. I think I know it's kind of hard to explain for me, but yes, the short answer is yes. There's going to be a lot of experimentation, mostly revolving around synths and that type of thing. Also doing a lot more with vocal harmonies and so I'm just trying to make it as big as I can. I want the song to sound big. I want it to be in your face. So that's kind of, I think, the direction we're heading from a production standpoint.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And talking about the future of the band, so how are you planning for the future, and how do you look into Pharmacose way ahead?
Yeah, so I think, like I said, for the time being, we're just going to be releasing this song, one song per month or so for the next few months, and then that other project that I've been talking about, that's going to be occupying my time. And so I think when we get kind of maybe, I think there might be 7 or 8 songs of this released this way. Once we kind of get all tidied up, we're hopefully going to be able to start playing, more live. And I think, but for right now, this is going to be my focus because I really am wanting to do as good a job as possible, to get the production as down as possible, to make the songs just sound as great as possible. And that requires a lot of effort. And so and then this other side project, like I've been kind of talking about, I think once that all kind of comes to fruition, I think we'll be able to hopefully start playing out a lot more live.
Wonderful. That sounds great. That sounds great. I know it's a beginning for Pharmacose, but how has the musical journey that has been for you so far?
It's been great. I mean, it's I think we've been at it for, at least Lou and I, for 5 years. And then, I've been trying to do this my entire adult life. And so, I've been writing songs off and on for years and years and years. And so the production part of it was something that, I was never really good at. But, working a lot with Lou, and I learned a lot of things. And then I started doing my own stuff at home, trying to learn production better and learn mixing and all that. And one thing is over the pandemic, when we all kind of had a little more time because we were at home, that's when I really ramped things up. And so I really, man, I was spending just hours and hours and hours a day trying to get better at production. And because there's a lot to it. I mean, production is all about recording the best tracks as possible. But, it was very difficult for me, and I'm sure a lot of people, to take a song, to write it, to record it, and to mix it. It's just quite a big thing to do if you haven't really done it a whole lot before. And so I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm confident enough at this point to where I can start releasing stuff that I've mixed by myself. But it's just been a big journey, but a rewarding journey, because now I feel like obviously I want to work with the guys, but this way I feel like I have a voice, if nothing else. Like if something else happens, I can't get to work with Lou, or we can't we can't all meet up, at least I can keep going. At least I can keep releasing music. And so that's something I hope I'm able to do. And it's just been a very rewarding journey in that regard, because acquiring a skill is I love practicing at new skills. I train jujitsu, and I'm always wanting to get better at stuff. And so this to me was just a step along the way of really a life's journey of wanting to be as best as I can at the things I do. So
Amazing, amazing, Wes, amazing. And Wes, finally, what would be the message for the fans, and what would be the message that you want to give to the people who are new to Pharmacose?
I would say that, like we talked about the mental health issue, the big message is you're not alone. There are other people out there that have been affected by mental health issues of all sorts. And if you are experiencing that, please, I know there's a stigma out there against, mental health, but please do what you can to get whatever help you can, even if it's just talk to a friend. You can't bear all that alone. It's too much. I think mania is one thing because people know you're manic, but people don't always know you're depressed. So especially, if you're depressed, it's something you really need to talk about, I feel like. And so that would be kind of the message, that we're, at least for prescription fiction. And then, I think, another thing that I think we kind of hinted on is I never really thought I'd be able to come to a point where I could produce and mix a song and release it. Then I'm talking about this for, the later stuff. But I think, you can do anything you really, I hate to be corny like that, but I mean, if you put effort in, you really can get things done. And so I hope that people realize that, several years ago, I wasn't much of a producer, but now I think I've gotten a lot better, and it's just effort. So I hope that inspires people too. So
Wonderful.
that if I can do it, anybody can. So
it's so kind of you saying that. So wonderful of you, Wes. And Wes, I want to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to have this interview with you today. It's a real pleasure to meet you here
yeah,
today. And
thank you so much.
thanks for putting up an amazing album, Prescription Fiction, great compilation of songs, amazing work, great songwriting altogether. And thanks again for that. And I wish to see you on the road soon, and wish you and the entire band all success in the life.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. Take care, bud.
You. And you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.